Hi, welcome back to the Wilson Anchor News. This is your anchorman, Teddy Andrews. In this edition of the Anchor News, we're welcoming Niagara County Sheriff Michael Filicetti to the set. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here. As I told you off camera, there was a wait list for me to get on the show, so this is great.
So to help our viewers get to know you, I'd like to play a game of Kick One, Pick One. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
All right, first up, we'll start with dark chocolate or milk chocolate?
Definitely dark chocolate. It's healthier for you.
Chocolate chip cookies or peanut butter cookies?
That's a tough one. I like both, but I'm going to keep the chocolate chip.
Tacos or nachos?
Definitely tacos.
French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
Tim Hortons or Starbucks?
Now, I don't drink coffee, but I like Tim Hortons.
And a Boston cream donut or jelly donut?
See, the donut question's always a tough one because they always think the cops like donuts. But I'll give the answer to this anyway. Jelly donut.
Thank you for helping out with the Wilson Elementary Bike Rodeo. Your department offered free inspections on bikes and bike helmets. How important are bike helmets?
Well, really important. As you know, if you're under 14, you're supposed to be wearing your bike helmet, and it keeps you safe. I've seen people kids get hurt riding their bikes without helmets. And there's other rules of the road you should follow. You know, riding with traffic, obey all the traffic control devices, the stop signs, the red lights, and just be safe. Don't ride too fast, and watch out for cars. Don't assume that they see you.
As the head of the Sheriff's Department in Niagara County, what are some duties of yours?
I wear a lot of hats. I have 340 employees that I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for the safety and welfare of over 210,000 residents here in Niagara County. Did you know we had over 210,000 residents? So basically, I have several divisions under my command. I have the law enforcement division. So you see the red and white patrol cars. Deputy Z is part of our law enforcement division. I have a corrections division, which is the jail. And there's usually about 340 to 350 inmates in that jail every day that fall under me. And I have a 911 center. So anybody that calls 911 in the county here, they're calling our 911 center if they're using their mobile phone. So it's a very, very busy center. I have a civil division, and that's something I'm required to have. They go out and they serve papers like evictions and judgments and things like that. I have a forensic lab where they do all that testing like you kind of see on TV. They do all that in there. I'm trying to think of what else. And just in general, my duties, I have a lot of administrative duties, budget, making sure that we're keeping up with the New York State changes and laws and rules and reporting. And so it's a busy job, but one of the big things that I like to do is community engagement. I like I like to try to get out of the office and come out and see the people in Niagara County.
And being a law enforcement officer is an incredibly difficult job, but a rewarding job. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things during your career. Do you have any favorite or memorable experiences you'd like to share?
Well, I've been doing this for 30 years now, so I've seen a lot. I feel like I've done a lot. One of my biggest accomplishments was going to the FBI Academy in Quantico, Virginia. A very small percentage of law enforcement officers get to go to that, and that was a big accomplishment. It was 10 weeks away from home, and I got to meet with law enforcement officers from across the country and across the world. There was international law enforcement there, so it was a great time. But things that are really memorable to me are the graduations that I go to for corrections officers and for our police officers. That's the biggest day in their lives, so that's a really big day for them. So I like to be there to celebrate that with them. And then, as I mentioned, just the day-to-day stuff, being out at events, stopping, talking to residents that are out in their yards, maybe. Those are big for me. I like doing that. I think it's good to come out and talk to the people that live here in the county.
Do all schools in Niagara County have a school resource officer?
As of now, every public school in Niagara County has a school resource officer. With the latest additions that we did right here in Wilson, and then also at Niagara Charter School and at Star Point. And some of the other police departments added school resource officers as well. So I think we're doing pretty good.
And what are your thoughts on the SRO program?
I love the SRO program. I think I've said it before. A lot of people look at it as security or somebody here to keep things safe, which that is what it is. But it's also a lot more than that. I think right here you look at Wilson with Deputy Z, and you see him creating a drone club for the kids, participating in the fun run over at the elementary school, building relationships. I really think that's the big thing with being an effective SRO, is to have good relationships with the staff, have good relationships with the kids, and really just getting to be part of the school family. And I think, that's the biggest piece of being a good SRO.
Parents are always looking to do fun things to do with their children during the summer. Do you have any community events happening that you would like to promote?
So we do a lot of community events. First, I would say, if you want to see what we have going on, we're on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones. But if you get on Facebook, you can follow what we're doing. I like Facebook the best because I'm getting older. So there's some things coming up, and I may regret telling you about this one, but I understand there's a nice event on Yonge Street here in Wilson this Saturday. I will be in the dunk tank from 2 to 3. I better not see you there throwing balls at the dunk tank, but you probably will be. And there's also a fishing derby going on down here Saturday. We will have our SWAT vehicle, our Bearcat, up at the Wilson Conservation Club. And then I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget, June 22nd, we'll be at the Youngstown Street Dance and Car Show. We like to bring our old black and white patrol car down to the car show. I do not dance when I'm there. I just do the car show. So, follow our social media, though, for upcoming events. We have things going on every week, every day almost during the summer.
Do you have any advice for students how they can stay safe during the summer?
So during summer, we see a lot more traffic. There's more cars, more motorcycles, people out. You're supposed to walk against traffic, or here in the village, you can walk on the sidewalk. Just watch for cars. Don't assume that they see you. Just like when you're on your bike, don't assume that they see you. Swimming is popular. Swim with friends, but swim in pools that you're supposed to be swimming in. Swim in areas where there's lifeguards. Areas that are posted, dangerous waters. Don't swim here. Stay away from those because bad things happen. Some people like to boat. My biggest piece of advice with boating is don't go out when the weather's bad or when the water's rough, and always wear your life jacket. You'll hear people say, well, I don't need a life jacket, right? Because I know how to swim. But if you fall out of the boat and you hit your head and you don't have a life jacket on, it doesn't really matter if you know how to swim, right? So always wear your life jacket when you're out on your boat. If you see our boat out, our sheriff's boat out, our Marine deputies always have their life jackets on, setting a good example, and they'll be out on the water. They're already out on the water, but they'll be out this summer checking boats to make sure that they're safe and they have all their equipment and everything in the boats.
Thanks again for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join me today.
I was glad to be here. It's a great show.
That will conclude this edition of the Anchor News. This is your news anchorman, Toddy Andrews.